Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome to the 12th Man Podcast. I'm Blaine. I'm here with my man Brooks. And today we're going to start things off by talking about the Euros, aka the European Championship. And to everyone's surprise, I think we were all surprised when I say this. Yesterday, Portugal crashed out, but even more infamously, the French national team went crashing out of the tournament in historic fashion at the hands of the Swiss. What do you make of that, Brooks? What did you think of the overall game, the performance, and the way that they got dumped out of the tournament?
Yeah, that was not a great. Actually, what I'll say is for like 30, 35 minutes, France was like looking like the greatest team in the world. And then as soon as Pogba lost the ball, middle of the pitch, it's kind of just went all downhill from there. They drew the game up, took it into extra time. And Mbappe hasn't looked good. I mean, in my opinion, I love him so much. Like, seeing him play for France, for PSG, I just like, he just did not look good the entire tournament. Walked up to that PK looking like he wasn't sure what was going on. Really just like kind of almost like a lazy, unsure of himself kick, easy to save, didn't place it well, not much pace. I don't know, I felt so bad for him too, especially after that game. He was just standing there alone. I felt worse that Giroud scored his and then Mbappe missed his, but they just didn't look good really the whole tournament. They were having trouble scoring. Benzema had an amazing tournament, another 2 goals, but yeah, it just didn't look great to me.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, they had like maybe 30 minutes, maybe less, where they looked like the French team that everyone knew they could be when Benzema had the touch of all touches. The no-look behind the back touched crossover to the... He looked like a basketball player out there with the crossover. Got in space, finished. So, I mean, that was cool. Pogba's goal was cool. I thought Pogba... To be fair, I think Pogba also had a good tournament.
He had an amazing tournament. That game, too, like, he was easily picking defenses apart, putting those through balls through yesterday. He had a great tournament, you're right.
He had a great... I think he did. But, I mean, after that goal, him... and Kimpembe, they were doing that dance, and like we all thought the game was sewn up. Like we were like, it's over. Some of my homeboys texted me, my dad texted me. I was like, it's over.
Like,
France woke up and they're ready to play.
Yeah.
Then lost the ball, goal, another goal, and then I mean, I guess that's all she wrote. But I mean, on one note, like I said, like France now has lost 2 Euros that they should have won. Yeah. But the World Cup is next year.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens there. All I can say is, so for me, like, I think I've made myself very clear. I wanted Belgium to win.
You did. Yeah, that was what you said at the very, when the first episode we talked about the predictions.
The predictions are Belgium, and I want Belgium to win, and they are my favorites for the tournament, but I got to say this to you on video. I got to say this to you on wax. It's coming home.
Oh my God!
England is coming home. England's gonna win the Euros, and let me tell you why. First off, they just got done playing. I'm buzzing right now. Solid performance. I mean, they parked the bus basically. They had all their players behind the ball except for 3, but they won, and that's all that matters in these tournament situations. Yeah. But back to Belgium, who knocked Portugal out, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Their team is now depleted. Their team is depleted now. The injuries, Hazard's out, De Bruyne's out. I think Thorgan can't play, and he had that crazy goal. I mean, I just don't see, I feel like their problem's always been a problem of depth, and now that there's, 2 significant injuries, and they're going into, the semifinal?
Yeah, they just won their round of 16, so, yeah.
Or is it the quarter then?
I think they made it to the round of 8 now. Because they just won today's round of 16 game.
4 games. Yeah, that's 4 games. So, yeah, that's the quarter. Okay, so going into a quarterfinal with, 2 of your best 3 players injured and probably not going to play, it's ugh. So, that's the only reason I'm saying it's coming home. This is, people thought England had a chance in the World Cup, and I was like, you guys are smoking Laffy Taffy. But now I feel like they have a legitimate chance. France is out. Portugal is out. Belgium's wounded. Let's not count out the Swiss. Okay, let's not count them out. But let's not count out Spain either. But That's all I gotta say. But
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. I think that if KDB doesn't play, I think that that's just, I think that that's too big of a hurdle to overcome. Hazard, like, yeah, that would suck if he was hurt. He has been looking better each game, I think, getting back into fitness. But I mean, it looked like whatever it looked like, kind of like a hamstring or something. It didn't look too super serious, but I don't know the extent of it, so I haven't heard anything yet. But I think the good thing that England has going for them is, one, their draw is easy. Like, the Sweden-Ukraine game is on right now, and they're going to play the winners of that. So I think that's no offense to like Sweden or Ukraine. Sweden's actually been looking really good. We were just talking about them before we started shooting, but I do think that of all of the teams they could have played, that's probably the luckiest draw. Italy has been tough. Granted, their first 3 games were at home. And then, the same thing with England. England, they're finding a way to get it done, and that's really all that matters. That helps your mental. That gives you a little bit of energy going through. Plus, this game was a big game at Wembley, though. Their next game is going to be in Rome, against either of these 2 teams that are playing right now. So I do think that the draw is on their side, and just like the energy right now. Kane finally scored. Like I was telling you, I'm like, yo, when he went down looking hurt, I was like, that might be a blessing if they could just pull him off the field. He looked old, he moved old, he couldn't. I was like, dude, get this guy. But he had the signature Kane header, so.
Yep. The signature. It really is. That's like his signature shot, dude. Like throws himself at the ball on his knees, goal.
Yeah.
Gets up, looks broken, but shout out to Harry Kane for finally getting his goal.
Finally, but
at the
go ahead.
I was gonna say, but all the pundits at the beginning, because I'm not even gonna get into Harry Kane slander right now. He got his goal, good for him.
He got his goal, good for him. Raheem Sterling, shout out to Raheem Sterling. He had gone 0 goals in 16 games. He's playing so bad that he was on Arsenal's radar. Now all of a sudden, he scored 3 goals, basically carried them through this whole tournament so far. So he's looking amazing.
For real, dude. For real, he's won 3 games.
He's won 3 games.
I think because they've been keeping clean sheets.
Yeah.
So was it 4 clean sheets out of all the games they've played, and they've won 3 of those, and they've all been because of a goal.
A goal.
Yeah. Shout out to Sterling, man.
Shout out to Sterling.
Boss man.
Shout out to New Balance.
Shout out to NB. Send us some shoes. Send us some hoodies. We'll wear them.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, okay. So I guess we should probably chat real quick about so Ronaldo, the French team, or Ronaldo and the Portuguese team. They got kicked out by Belgium, but I personally thought. Ronaldo to be where he is at in his career, I honestly, if I'm being honest, I think he still played very well. I don't think he should be embarrassed that they lost to a team as good as Belgium.
Right.
And I feel like I would be doing a disservice to our community if I didn't take a minute to shout out Renato Sanchez.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
We texted
that kid,
during that game. He handled Conte.
He had Conte looking like an amateur. You would have thought he was back playing in the league. How do you say 4 in French? Quattro. The Quattro, the 4th league. He had him all looking crazy. He would get the ball, run with the ball, hold the ball, shield the ball. He was passing, intercepting. I'm like. So, last Euros, he was the young player of the tournament, and we all know the story, the fall from grace, and now 4 years later, or 5 actually, because Euro 2020 is in 21, he's back where he used to be, so I'm really excited to see if he, if he stays with Lille and, tries to make another run at Ligue 1, or if he, goes to, a quote-unquote super club or a big club, you know what I mean? Does he go back to Bayern? Does Bayern give him another shot?
No.
Does he go to the Premier League? Last time he was here, he played for Swansea. Does he maybe go to a West Ham? I know West Ham could probably use a guy like that in the midfield to replace Ross Barkley. I don't know. Now we're getting into speculation, but all I want to say is I no discredit to Portugal for losing to a better team, but Renato, man. Whew.
Yeah, definitely. That dude had a great few games in the tournament. I saw him linked to Arsenal, but anyone that has a good European tournament is always linked with Arsenal. So I mean, that's no
Yeah.
surprise. But yeah, he really handled it in that midfield. He really did look kind of make Conte look shameful. And not to bring this up again, but even in yesterday's game, Conte didn't look like the Conte that we all know. Pogba looked incredible. Pogba was the best player on that France squad by far. But yeah, Ronaldo Sanchez looked amazing this tournament. Really happy to see that happening for him, going again for him. So we'll see what happens this summer, where he goes, what he does. Hopefully, I just hope he can keep it up, because it was so sad. You know, like you said, after the 2016 tournament, it just kind of disappeared. But hopefully, he can keep this momentum going.
Okay, other star that we Euro star that we talked about a few weeks back was Patrick Schick.
Yeah.
Schick. Who did they knock out again? I'm having a hard time keeping up. Who did Switzerland knock out?
Yeah, France yesterday. Switzerland?
Oh, duh.
Switzerland knocked out
Yeah,
France, yeah.
yeah, that's right. It was Patrick. Okay, Patrick Schick, man. That kid, like, who does he play? Do you know who? Does he play for?
Germany.
Who does he play
Or
for?
Austria.
He's in Germany.
It might be
he's
RB
playing, he's
Salzburg,
playing in
I
the wrong
think, who he
club.
plays for.
It's the wrong club, and he needs to get out of there and go somewhere else. I'm just gonna Patrick Schick, Czech player. You are. Wait, he's a Czech player that was born in Prague. Maybe he plays for that team in Prague. Hold on, it doesn't matter. Oh, Leverkusen.
Okay, yeah, Germany.
Plays for Leverkusen. Wow, Bayer Leverkusen. Wow, and he was also at RB. So you were right both times. But he also played for Sparta Prague.
How old
But
is he?
I didn't know that. I just assumed. 25.
Okay, so he's still young. Playing pretty young.
Yeah, right on time.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to have a good tournament, and then get a big move, and then possibly a second big move to a 4-year contract to 28, 29, and boom, boom. Anyway, okay, I think that's probably good for the European side of things. Then, one last thing, your boy. I'll let you tell it. Your boy got a coaching gig.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
coaching
Yeah,
gig,
yeah.
rather.
Patrick, shout out to Patrick Vieira. Love that guy. Saw him a number of
Big
times
name.
on the streets of New York. Always really nice.
Was he wearing a blue scarf?
No, it was.
Or was he like in a jumpsuit?
It was summer both times I saw him. So, I mean,
Okay.
I don't have to tell this story on the channel, but I don't get like starstruck, especially like growing up in Los Angeles, living in New York. But when I saw him, I was like, so. Yeah, both times I'm not one of those people that go up and talk to him, but he knew that it was one of the things where like I saw him, he saw me, see him, and he knew that I knew who he was, not
Yeah.
just the NYCFC coach, because I was like, and then he like just smiled, nodded, kept it moving, and then like 2 weeks later I saw him again, and all I said was, "You're an invincible, you're a legend," and he just smiled and said, "Thank you," and so like, really happy to see him coaching and in the Premier League, so. And in London, so Crystal Palace, that's a good move. If I was Zaha, I would want to stay, just because of that. But
Yeah, that's a good strategy. That is a good reason to get someone to say bring one of the Arsenal Invincibles in as the manager.
yeah, because Zaha grew up a huge Arsenal fan anyway. So I think I think that Vieira was fired from Nice. I mean, but like. I don't know, no offense to Nice, but he did a great job with NYCFC. I know it's MLS, no offense to MLS, but I think that he's a good coach. I think that he has really good qualities. Everything I hear from like the players that he's coached has been really positive. So I'm happy, I'm excited. I hope that he sticks around longer than he did with Nice.
Yeah, same. I'll be looking forward to just watching him on the
Yeah.
sidelines. Like I usually watch Crystal Palace games
Yeah.
anyway. Because I like a lot of the players, and several of the Chelsea players were loaned out there for the last few seasons. But yeah, to see Patrick, just to see like old players coaching is always appealing to me. Even whether they're a good coach or a bad coach,
Yeah.
I just like watching them coach to see like it's like someone we obviously, I mean, you saw the guy, but you don't know the guy. I don't know any professional coaches, but you feel like you know him because you watched them play for so many
Yeah.
years, and now you're like, oh man, like there's Thierry Henry, like assistant coach at Belgium. Nice,
Yeah.
let's go. Like, look at Zizou,
Right.
stuff like that. So,
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, I feel a connection, like, growing up so many years, idolizing these guys, watching them play, putting the posters on the wall, making them your background when you're young on your phone or computer or whatever. But,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
cool to see them on the field, just to still get a glimpse of them, because they have that, especially when you're an Invincible, when you have those many accolades to your name, it's almost like, I don't know, it's really special, I think, to just be able to keep seeing them do their thing. at least on the coaching level.
World Cup winner,
World Cup winner, yeah.
legend. That's crazy, man. In Crystal Palace, South London. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, congratulations. Like you said, shout out to PV. We'll be watching.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump down to the other tournament. What's going on? Copa America. Let's talk South America. Brooks.
Yeah.
Your boys looking better.
Looking better. I mean, I'm liking the lineup a little bit more the last couple games. They played Bolivia last night, which, no offense to Bolivia, but it's the worst team in the tournament. I think they had scored 1 goal prior to going into this game last night. But Argentina looked amazing. Martinez with a couple goals off the bench. Messi with a couple goals and an assist. Agüero gave him an assist as well. So they looked really, really great. I wish they would have rested Messi. I mean, I get that they had a pretty long break, a week or almost a week from the last time they played, and then another almost week. They play again on Saturday. They play Ecuador. So there's some pretty good downtime between that. But this was an easily winnable game without him. Even if they lost, they would have still, at worst case scenario, come in second place. But they looked amazing. They really needed this win last night. They needed to put all those goals in, because we've been talking about this. Like, Argentina is not the type of team to score 1 goal and then park the bus, which is what they've been doing the last few games, and nobody wants to see that from Argentina. So they just kept pressing and pressing. So they're going into the group stages now with a lot of confidence and a lot of goals being scored. So that felt good for me anyway. So I'm looking forward. I'm getting a little bit more confidence and excitement going into the next round. So hopefully we can make a good push, bring Messi a trophy before he hangs up the boots.
Yeah. Good for you. It was good to see them win. I agree with you. They should have rested their best player. You saw what Brazil did in their last match, their last meaningless match. They played the reserves.
Yeah, at least Poland, it didn't even Poland. He played all 90.
Give him an hour to run out and then pull him.
Yeah.
Now we're running him into the dirt. We need him on the field the whole tournament.
Yep. I mean, again, it was good. I'm glad that they got all those goals that they played. They played really well. It was the best game they played. I mean, granted, again, no offense to Bolivia, but they still played the best football I've seen them play in quite a while. So really, and they did, start a lot of the younger kids who looked like they were really hungry, really excited to be out there, and they all performed really well. So it was all around a really good game. Really happy with the outcome.
Okay, very well. Let me ask you this, and then we can move
Yeah.
on to a few more notes. But does it concern you that the worst team in the competition put one past them?
Nah, no. It doesn't. It wasn't.
That's
The
fine.
keeper, I don't even think Eddie Martinez wasn't even playing. They rested him. It was just an odd,
Oh,
yeah,
really? Okay.
It was a really weird lineup, but no, it doesn't, because that's the Argentina that I kind of know. It's all right, well, they're going to score 4 or 5, but, they're going to get scored on maybe once or twice. So they didn't have that same mentality last night as, okay, we're going to score 1 and then just sit back the whole night. It just, from the get-go, it didn't look like, oh, bless you. It didn't look like that was their game plan. So, no, it doesn't really concern me.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a good question, though.
Fair enough, yeah. Fair enough, yeah. We're just going to outscore our opposition. That's how we do it.
That's what they need to do, yeah.
Patrick D'Antonio football. Very nice, very nice. For all our basketball fans out there, you'll get the reference. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, so speaking of Messi, and I feel like we talk about this every week,
Yeah.
but it's important. It's important to talk about. We are now a day away from his contract expiring. What do we know? Is he staying?
Probably.
Is he going to... Okay.
Probably. I mean, now the latest rumors is they're going to offer him a 3-year contract. Something like that. 3rd year, he's going to get less money. There's even, I think we talked about this in one of the prior episodes, it's going to be somewhere written in there, he's going to have a contract that Inter Miami, he's going to go to Inter Miami when he's, in his older career. He already owns a couple condos down there, but it looks more and more likely that he's going to stay, but who knows until they come out and announce something.
Okay, so if his contract will likely expire while he's down playing
Yeah.
in the Copa America, and then he'll just come back and he'll figure something out, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so as far as we know, I mean, sorry, I don't know if anybody can hear the air conditioning is turned on, so I'm just gonna not have that being super loud if it's loud. But yeah, I mean, as far as we know, I mean, maybe he's told his father slash agent, or he's already told the club like, yeah, I'll sign whatever. Just don't worry me with this while I'm at this tournament, or it's been kind of remarkably quiet, like all the kind of rumors and stuff about what he's going through, or what he's going to do, or what he might do, and there's really been almost zero talk or zero rumors about PSG and Man City and all these other teams that could afford him. The only whisperings have been like, yeah, he's going to stay, they're going to make an announcement soon enough. It's just a matter of these next couple days deciding on when Barcelona wants to announce it.
Okay. Well,
So,
okay, sounds good. Then he's going to stick around for the new project,
maybe.
or the second season of a newer project. All the best. Wish him the best.
Yeah, still, it's nice if he does, and like he's a one-man club, but I do kind of want to see him with a team that has a little bit more ambition for his last two or three seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I mean, we talked about it, and I won't say much more. But Pedri looked good for Spain yesterday. So that's all I can really say. I mean, that's all I can say. Pedri looked good, and that's where I'll put a pin in it. All right, man. What else do we want to talk about? What else is going on out there? I feel like we pretty much covered the Euros and. I mean, transfers. I guess Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Man City's trying to get him. Did they officially make a bid, or is it just a rumor? Or did they send a bid through for Jack Grealish to Man City?
I heard it was official, like £100 million, and then I also have read some of the things where it was like, as far as I know, it's official. Yeah. Okay. So, which is just a wild amount of money. I mean, he's so good, and that was one of the things today that I don't think we were able to talk about, but dude, when they brought him in, and the last game, when they bring him in, he just brings a new sort of energy that England doesn't have without him.
Yeah,
he's that kind of player who can instantly change the game. Most fouls won the last 2 seasons, and he, again, we talked about this weeks ago, but he was injured the last third of the season, and he still finished the season with most fouls won. He's just such a good attack-minded player, super smart. He knows the right passes to make, can get in the lines. He can, that assist today to Harry Kane was brilliant. And he was a part of the first goal to Sterling. So, I mean, as soon as they brought him in, it was just it just changed the whole game, the whole dynamic. So I don't know, values of players on that level. So when someone says £100 million, that's just unfathomable to me. But he's definitely one of the best attacking midfielders in the game right now.
Yeah, so I'm I'm with you. I mean, I certainly think my standpoint would be, okay, he's not. Is he worth £100 million, or is he worth £100 million because he's British going to another British club,
right.
And
isn't that crazy?
And he's the captain. Yeah, £100 million. I mean, I guess that's water off a duck's back for Man City, but.
But what it was,
I think for me.
Sorry, keep going.
No, go. I cut you off. Go. No, you go.
I was gonna say
Well, I was just. All right, you go. I'm gonna show.
I was gonna say him and they're not the same player, but it's a similar position. Him and KDB.
Yeah.
Now you go.
Which I mean, well, I guess to be fair though, I mean, if the season's gonna be as long and as grueling as we imagine it will be. I don't know if they're going to condense the schedule because of the World Cup in the in the winter, November, December. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Aston Villa is not really in the way of anybody else. I doubt anyone else could even afford to sign him. But I mean, if you have the opportunity, KDB could get injured. I mean, if you got $100 million, which he does, yeah, exactly. So I'm and then for Jack Grealish part, I mean, I think he won the championship with Aston Villa to get him promoted. He was with them when they got relegated and brought him back up. So I'm there's a lot of guys that deserve a big move, and they don't get it because they price themselves out of the big move, right?
Yeah.
Like Harry Kane might have priced himself out of a big move. He's on a contract. People are looking at him like, okay, like we could spend 20 million more and get Erling Haaland, which is like not really half your age, but you got 10 years or like 8 years on the guy. So I'm like, for a guy like Jack Grealish, I'm like, I respect him. I like him a lot. I feel like I'd like to see him get his move, like to get a shot at winning something.
Yeah.
Legitimate.
Yeah.
Because he's a quality footballer. You know what I'm saying?
He really is, and you bring up a good point. The other thing is like, I mean, you brought up the Aston Villa thing, but he's born and raised there too. I mean, he grew up going to the games. His father, grandfather, like that, all fans.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't know. It's hard because like, you know, the neighborhood that you know my family's from is Boca, which is obviously like, if not the best team in South America, it's, you know, one of the top two. And the same thing growing up in Los Angeles, like Lakers are always pretty much the best team. So I never really been from a neighborhood where like the team's not great. So I don't really know how to navigate that situation. But I just will say that he has stuck with them this long. He did get relegated. He did play that season. He did bring them back. And I mean, that just says so much because he could have left. He could have gone. He could have, at the very least, forced a move out if he wanted to. And he's been the captain the whole time. And so I think that's super admirable. And you might be right. Like maybe the time is now, and that he should, you know, just, he's done what he's done for the club. It's been amazing. And maybe just now is his time. Maybe he pulls a Stevie G and just saves them forever. But, you know, Liverpool's a different story than Aston Villa. But, you know, I don't know. KDB's also not young anymore either.
No, dude, he just turned 30.
Yeah, so, you know, maybe they're looking at that. He's injured a lot. And City's always going to be playing the most games. They're always going to make it deep in every single competition. And I think that one thing that Pep prides himself in is always having multiple players who can be the best at one position.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope... Yeah, dude, I hope they sign him. I think it'd be cool for him.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, just if not for anything else, not like I'm sitting here touting like City, but yeah, just for him.
Yeah.
Because like I just feel like there's so many players like that, and I don't know what they're thinking, but like think of guys like we'll start Harry Kane, like he had no business he has no business being at Spurs anymore, but yet here he is, and now he finally says he wants to go, and I'm pretty sure he's priced himself out.
Yeah.
Another guy you talked about, Zaha, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
He signed a new contract. I think he's the highest paid player at Palace, which money could be. I mean, but any club that ever wanted him, they could have paid him the money. So I just feel like there's certain guys. Like I'm trying to think, is there anyone else that comes to mind directly that may have priced themselves out to where it's like, you can never leave this club unless your contract runs down, and I mean, by the time your contract runs down, like, you probably won't be worth going for. Because, like, people went for other players. Yeah. Like, basically, Harry Kane's the perfect situation. Like, you're supposed, like, let's just say, not that, I'm not saying I believe this, but Harry Kane's a very good player. Let's just say he's a top 5 striker. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, like, if you didn't sign that new contract about a season ago, you would have a year left in your contract and maybe you could walk for free, but you signed it because you're a bonehead. Just kidding. I don't know if you're a bonehead or not, but you signed it. And now teams are you announce that you want to go, and teams like, okay, we'll buy you. And the club, your owner, Levy, says, yeah, well, we want like 150. Yeah. And then Dortmund's like, yeah, we want 150 for Erling Haaland. And then Bayern Munich's like, if you want Robert Lewandowski, you can have him for 70. And Inter's like, if you want Romelu Lukaku, we'll give him to you for 110. And it's like, well, who, like, for that value proposition, who are you going to take? And it's like, unfortunately, Harry Kane is probably closer to the bottom of that list than he is at the top when you take in all of those things. And it's like, sorry, bro, you're staying in the Tottenham for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because once this contract's over, you're going to be like 33 or 34. And unless you're pulling like a Robert Lewandowski or Cristiano Ronaldo, you're probably not going anywhere higher than Spurs.
Yeah.
You know, probably somewhere lower. I don't know. That's all.
Yeah, I would take, I mean, we've talked about this too, like Erling Haaland all day over every single one of those guys for me, so.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's really all. I guess that's all there is. But so yeah, I think. So yeah, I guess yeah, that's it. Now we're babbling. I'm babbling at least. But that Brooks, that's all I got for the day, man. I feel like I hope he gets it, and England's gonna win the Euros, and Brazil's gonna win the Copa America, and everybody else, I feel bad for them. But actually, no, I don't know why I said England's going to win. They might win. Belgium's probably going to. Well, no, England's probably going to win. Belgium has too many injuries. Anyway, that's all I got to say, man. What you got? Any closing thoughts you want to leave the people with this?
I mean, I still don't want to sleep on Italy, especially if De Bruyne is out, if Hazard's out, then Italy has an even better chance of going through. They've been looking really, really good at this tournament. So I think if they can get past Belgium, they have a really good chance at winning the whole thing too. But based off of today, England looked very strong. I mean, let's just be real honest. Like, had Germany not started Timo Werner, they probably would have won the game, or they at least would have made it a little bit more challenging for England.
We can be honest. That's very true. Listen, man, between Timo Werner's miss and Thomas Mueller, like, I don't know if they'll sleep for the rest of the year.
Yeah, the nice thing about Werner is, like, he's still young. Mueller's pretty much done.
Yeah.
That's like probably his last tournament.
He might have just forfeited his passport stamp to Qatar next year. Like, listen, bro, like, you brought shame upon your country. You can't. Maybe, but dude, at the same time, Hansi Flick. We're not going to get into the discussion of the national team. All I can say is, like, I'm interested to see what the national squads are going to look like for the World Cup versus, like, the squads that have been carried for the Copa and the Euros. I think there will be some, like, for all the teams that have gotten knocked out up to this point, I feel like there's going to be some drastic changes.
So my last question then, before we wrap this up, is you kind of brought this up a couple weeks ago. Poet brought up that England doesn't really play for the badge. But what I think though is the last couple of games, like, they've been playing much better, and they do look like there's a lot more camaraderie there. Especially, you follow them on Instagram, you see, like, they're playing basketball together or golfing together. It looks like they have quite a good camaraderie going on. Did you see, or was it my imagination, Sterling kiss the badge after he scored today? Did you see that?
I don't know. After he scored, so some context, I was on my treadmill running with the iPad there, and then I had the TV. And when he scored, I just started yelling and fist pumping, and, like, then immediately as I'm running, I got on my phone and I'm just texting everybody, like, let's go. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay because I pretty much blacked out for like 90 seconds.
I was gonna tell you that what.
But if he kissed the.
Go ahead.
Did he kiss it?
It looks like it. So the one thing that I remember is that the badge is usually here. Their jerseys today, it was in a center.
Oh yeah, they wore the hoodies.
But he did go like this. Either he was popping tags or he kissed the badge. But it looked like he kissed the badge to me. I mean, except the left side of it. So I think that he did, which is pretty awesome. You don't see a ton of England players kissing the badge.
You don't. No, you don't.
And I really
so
think
if he did, that's remarkable.
Yeah, you gotta look that up.
That's remarkable.
I think he did. Yeah.
That's remarkable. If he kissed the badge, that's gonna be our thumbnail for the episode. If he kissed the badge.
If he kissed the badge, they're winning the Euros.
All right then. Well, to be seen then. I hope you're right then. Cool.
All right, everyone.
All right, yeah, everyone. Thank you. Then that pretty much concludes our show. Thanks for rocking with us. We'll catch you next week. Peace. Oh, geez.